Lion King and Mouse, Episode 2. The Mud Pie Mischief. The jungle was bright and alive with the sounds of birds chirping and leaves rustling in the warm morning breeze. Leo, the Lion King, stretched lazily on his favorite rock, his golden mane glinting in the sunlight. He had just finished a hearty breakfast of juicy fruits and was feeling particularly proud of himself. Meanwhile, tiny Mimi the mouse was up to her usual mischief. She had discovered a patch of soft, squishy mud near the river and thought it would be perfect for making her favorite treats, mud pies. She rolled and patted the mud with her tiny paws, creating the perfect little pies. But she wasn't paying attention to the giant shadow looming over her. Leo's nose twitched as he sniffed the air. Something smelled strange. Before he could figure out what it was, a perfectly shaped mud pie flew straight toward his face. Splat! Leo blinked, wiping the sticky mud off his nose. "Mimi!" he roared. "Did you throw that at me?" Mimi squeaked, jumping in surprise. I didn't mean to, Your Majesty. I was just practicing my mud pies." Leo narrowed his eyes. Practicing? You call throwing mud at the Lion King practicing? Well, maybe it needed a little taste test, Mimi said innocently, her whiskers twitching. Leo shook his massive head, trying not to laugh. "You are impossible, little mouse," Mimi giggled, thinking quickly. "Maybe we could turn this into a mud pie contest. I bet I can throw pies faster than you." Leo raised an eyebrow. "A contest, Ron. But remember, I'm the Lion King." And so, the battle began. Mimi leaped from one rock to another, scooping mud and tossing pies with astonishing speed. Leo tried to catch them, but each time Mimi squeaked and dodged with lightning-fast movements. Splat! Another pie hit Leo right on his mane. Splat! And another one landed on his nose. Vijingle! Animals peeked from behind the trees, laughing and cheering. A troop of monkeys swung from the vines, clapping their hands at the hilarious scene. Even the elephants stomped their feet in excitement, enjoying the funny showdown. Leo took a deep breath and lunged, trying to catch Mimi, but she was too quick, slipping past his giant paws and sending mud pies flying in every direction. "You tiny tornado!" Leo roared, laughing despite himself. Mimi squeaked with glee. "See, even a small mouse can make a big mess." Suddenly, a curious parrot swooped down. "What's happening here? A mud pie battle?" "It squawked." "Yes," Mimi replied. "And the Lion King is losing." Leo growled playfully. "I am not losing." He grabbed a big clump of mud and flung it gently, sending a muddy splash toward Mimi. She'd squeaked and darted behind a bush, shaking with laughter. The mud pie battle continued for hours. Mud splattered on leaves, vines, and even the sparkling river. Leo's golden mane was now covered in little brown blobs, and Mimi looked like a tiny mud monster herself. At one point, Leo accidentally stepped into a deep puddle. "Oh no!" he bellowed, slipping and sliding across the jungle floor. Mimi, noticing her chance, scooted behind him and flicked a mud pie right onto his back. "Victory!" she squeaked, twirling proudly. Leo shook himself, sending mud flying everywhere. All right. You win this round, tiny troublemaker," he said, trying to sound stern but failing. Mimi did a happy dance, her tiny paws squishing the soft mud beneath her. Knew it. Even the mighty Lion King can't beat a clever little mouse. The jungle animals cheered louder than ever. Birds sang, monkeys chattered, and even the elephants trumpeted in amusement. Leo took a deep breath, smiling down at Mimi. "You may have won today, but don't think this is over," he said. Mimi twitched her nose. "Oh, don't worry, Your Majesty. I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve." Just then, the sun began to set, painting the jungle sky in shades of orange and pink. Leo yawned, tired but happy, while Mimi sat on a little rock, admiring her messy handiwork. They shared a moment of silence, looking at the colorful sunset together. "You know, little mouse," Leo said softly, "even though you create chaos everywhere, life is never boring with you around." Mimi smiled. "I like it that way. The jungle is more fun when we play together." As the shadows grew longer, Leo and Mimi knew that their adventures were far from over. Tomorrow promised new mischief, laughter, and maybe even bigger challenges for the Lion King and the mischievous little mouse. The jungle grew quiet, the birds settling into their nests, the monkeys curling on the vines, and the elephants resting beside the river. But one thing was certain: wherever Leo and Mimi were, fun, chaos, and friendship were never far behind. Even a tiny mouse could turn a simple day in the jungle into a hilarious adventure, and a mighty Lion King had learned that being a little messy sometimes was the best way to enjoy life.